morning. About a month ago, my computer started having all these pop-ups come up on a late Friday afternoon that I had some malware in my system. So the number that was kept pop up, call your provider, and I called them to say, hey, I've got this malware, and they identified themselves as the security company that takes care of the computer malware and all those type of things. So they said, we'll need to get remote access to your computer so that we can take care of this and see what's going on. So I gave them remote access, and they went in and looked around my computer and found it, and pop-ups went away, and they explained to me that the subscription I had with them did not cover this, and I needed to upgrade my subscription. And for $499, I get 3 years of this service, and I went ahead and did it, and everything was over, and I thought everything was good. Well, go back 2 Fridays, and I got a call from that same company saying, hey, we found some other issues. We need you to go on this icon to make sure everything's okay. And I said, okay. And I don't have that icon on my desktop. And they said, you don't? Oh, we should have put that on there. Okay, we need to download that. We made a mistake. And because we made a mistake, we're going to refund you $295. I'll let them back into my computer to put that download. Supposedly, I thought it was done. I actually shut off my computer for the weekend. And next Monday, they said they were going to call me on Monday and give me a refund, or they would work it out. And I said, great. So I posted my Monday mindset last Monday and talking about how in my journal, how you look back, everything works out for good, and posted that. And then I get a phone call. Hey, we're here to take care of that refund. We noticed though, you shut down your computer and we didn't get to finish the download on Friday. I said, oh, okay. So would you turn your computer back on? I did. And they said, we're going to do that download. And as we're talking, he says, now, would you go into your checking account and see if you got the refund? And it was $295. And I said, no, I didn't get it. And I was on my mobile app. He goes, you need to go on your online with your computer. And I said, I don't think so. And he goes, yeah, you do. And I said, okay. And he goes, I said, but I'm not going to go on there while someone's inside my computer doing this upgrade. He goes, okay. So we go to the icon. I shut off the open access or whatever, remote service or whatever. And they go in, and I think I go check my checking account and it's not there. They said, okay, we need you to send an email. It didn't go through. So I went into my email and they said, send it to this address and here's a form, fill this form. They emailed me the form. I took the form, I filled it out, and it kept trying to send it, and wouldn't go through. And finally it went through. And on this form, I had to put the amount that I was going to take out. They were going to give me $295, and they also gave me a reference number, 28786 or something like that, and I put that in. So when I went back into my checking account, I had 28786 in my checking account, $28,000, and I said, "There's $28,000 in this account." And he goes, "What did you do? What did you do?" And I said, I didn't do anything. He goes, "Yes, you did. You must have made a mistake on the form. Pull up the form, pull up the email." And I pulled up the email, and sure enough, the 2 numbers were transposed, the reference number and the amount that was supposed to be put in. He goes, "You put the wrong number in. You need to send that back to us." I said, "I'm not sending anything back to you right now." Now, as soon as I saw the 28,000, I shut off my computer immediately. I just turned it off. And they're like, "You gotta go, you gotta send this to us." And then, "I'm gonna be fired. They're gonna throw me out, my family out on the streets. You can't do this to me. You have to send the money." And I was like, "Let me call my bank and figure out what's going on." And he just started screaming, threatening that they were gonna shut down my business, that I was gonna be in court, all this crazy stuff. So I get on the phone, I call my company, or my bank, and I'm sitting there with the 1-800 number just going on and on and on. And then I looked at my mobile app, and it's about 15 minutes in. I mean, I'm like freaking out, like, what's going on? I'm looking, and I noticed that the 28,000, all of a sudden the numbers changed because I have 2 accounts, and one account had the same amount and the other one had 28,000 more. But about 15 minutes in, the system upgraded, and the 28,000 had come from my other account. They had transferred the money from one account to the other, and they wanted me to send that 28,000 back to them, and then I would have lost all my $28,000. So I sort of could breathe because I realized, okay, they were in my system and they played the game. While I was trying to do that email over and over and over, they actually had done the transfer. So I finally get a hold of my company. I shut down my accounts. No money coming will go out. Money can come in. To this afternoon, I'm going to go set up new bank accounts. I called my credit card company. I told them about the scam. I got my $499 back. Yay. Didn't cost me anything. And I wasn't ever going to tell anybody on Monday Mindset because I was too embarrassed. But when I went to the Geek Squad to get my computer fixed, the young man told me, I said, I'm so embarrassed. I said, I should have seen this coming. I see it now, but I should have seen it. He goes, don't feel bad. He said, don't be embarrassed. He goes, I do one of these almost every day. I said, really? And he goes, oh, these guys are really good and they get so many people. So one of the things he told me, that's a lesson for all of us, never give someone remote access to your computer unless you are 100% sure you know who they are. They have to be very trusted. 2, when I called my security company that handles this, they said, we will never call you and set up to do something. If you do get a call from us, hang up and call back to our official number. Yes, okay. And the reason why I'm telling this story today, even though I'm still a little embarrassed, is that I learned something from this. I know the red flags now. I see them. I could have stopped this from day one. And the other thing that I want you to know is that that's the good thing about us. We learn. That's what makes us resilient. We fall and we fail and we can get up. We can fail forward, as John Maxwell says. We can learn from our mistakes and we can be better for it. And that's really what's most important. So if you make a mistake this week or you do something you're embarrassed by, just get up, learn from it, and go forward and have more success. Have a great Monday. We'll talk to you next week.